Hey everyone, it's Jen B, and welcome to my studio. Today I am recovering from a lovely little cold, so I'm doing this voiceover from bed instead of my recording studio because why not? I want to be comfortable. Anyway, in today's video, I am going to be walking you through the process of transforming a single clip earring into a pendant. The earrings that you see on my bench pin, these were some clip earrings that I purchased from Doug at Raven's Chest, and when he picked them up, one of them was missing the clip back, and he happened to have a single earring without its mate. So he took that clip off of it and used it to repair the turquoise and coral earrings. And I knew right away that I wanted to transform it and turn it into something wearable instead of scrapping it. So I am going to remove the portion of the clip mechanism that is soldered to the back of the earring. So here you see I've got the piece kind of secured on a soldering board. It's called a honeycomb soldering board. And I'm holding it down with some T-pins. And I am spraying it with flux so that the solder will reflow. And I'm heating it up to temperature. And then once it is just about at the right temperature, I am going to grab it with my tweezers. And the moment that solder starts to flow, I pull it off. And then I am working on removing that old solder. Since this is just going to be a pendant, I don't need that huge glob of solder to be on the back. And I'm a perfectionist, and so I want that gone. So I am just filing with some sandpaper rolls to get that solder removed. And here I am working on forming the bail around some bail making pliers and using some rectangle wire, marking off where I'm going to cut it. Then grabbing my saw blade, I go to tension my saw blade and notice, oops, my blade was not installed in the frame. So there we go, I got it back installed, tensioned it. I absolutely adore this saw frame for how easy it is to tension saw blades. So I am just cutting the metal where I marked it, turning it around and doing the other side. I apologize again for the condition of my voice, but it is what it is. And here I am using a grinding wheel to make both ends of the bail angled so that when I solder them together, they fit together really nice and beautifully. So I am just grinding and checking. And then I am using my pliers to squeeze those together and make sure that the ends do perfectly align. And we've got a beautifully shaped bail. Now back over at my soldering area, I have added a jump ring to the bail, and I am soldering the bail closed right here. I'm testing out this little tiny butane torch because I'm preparing to do a video on supplies to get ready soldering. And it's been so long since I've used a little butane torch that I got a new one to test out. Okay, so I picked up the solder with my pick and I placed it right on the tip of the bail, and using the little tiny butane torch to heat that up and get it to flow, and just checking that it flowed everywhere I needed it to. And then I set up the entire pendant with the jump ring and the bail into my pumice and have the bail supported with a titanium square. And I'll zoom in here in a second, and you can see a tiny itty bitty piece of solder on the inside of that jump ring. So I'm working on heating the back plate, and there you saw the solder melt. And I am pulling that solder around with the flame to make sure the entire jump ring got adhered to the back. And there it is. Isn't that cute? Oh, went off camera a little bit there. Sorry about that. But there it is. Really sweet. Okay, so here I am doing the final polishing. This piece didn't really need a ton of polishing. I'm just removing the scratches that came from filing off the old solder and just giving everything a nice finished polish. And then I throw it in the tumbler with some patina, and you can see how it looks here. And right now I am adding some sawdust to this piece. When I removed the stone, there was old sawdust in there, which is a very traditional way of supporting and lifting stones. And I wanted to be as true to the piece as I could, so I went ahead and used sawdust back into the piece, or put sawdust back into the piece. So now I am just resetting that stone, making sure that the bezel is nice and tight and perfect up against that stone. And then here is the finished pendant put onto a tiny little omega chain, and it just looks so perfect. It is so dainty, so cute. Flip it around, give you a look at the back. It's great. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video sharing with you how I took this single clip broken earring and transformed it into a beautiful little pendant that I am going to now wear and love. See you in the next video. Bye bye.